Right. The World Wide Web is a distributed hypermedia system. There are billions of files over on the World Wide Web. There are billions of websites over on the World Wide Web. Actually, I'm not sure whether they're billions, but I'm considerably so because I've done searches and I found several billions in using certain search terms. So it's safe to say there would be billions of things over on the World Wide Web. Now, you imagine all of these websites as stores, meaning to say that locations where you can put things. And chances are, if you have the internet, right, if you have the internet, chances are the most popular thing, meaning to say the thing that you use the most, the service that you use the most will be the World Wide Web. Imagine if you don't have World Wide Web, you can only use WhatsApp Messenger and voice over internet, which is Skype. You can only use these two, or you can have your email and etc. There are actually several services. You can actually go to your slides. There are different services like email, file transfer protocol, a torrent, for example. So these are different protocols and services that we have over on the internet. But if you don't have World Wide Web, I bet the internet won't be as interesting. This is to say that with its distributed hypermedia system, the web has become a really interesting place to be because the content are rich. You can have these and that, and it's really easy because you just click on a hyperlink and etc. And servers are always there 24/7. Meaning, if you're sending an email or a messenger using WhatsApp, for example, or trying to talk to someone using voice over IP, Skype, and whatnot, those people might not be there at that time, but servers are always there, right? If, for example, the Facebook server is down, you can go to a different server on the World Wide Web, right? So the World Wide Web is a very interesting place to be, which is why lots of people actually are actually similar to us, meaning we like going to the World Wide Web, right? Now, if a lot of people go to a certain place, then wouldn't it be a good idea to conduct business on that particular location? The answer is yes, right? We have this particular term, it's called e-commerce. It stands, of course, for eggplant commerce. No, it's not eggplant, it's electronic commerce, right? Electronic commerce means you conduct businesses online, right? And so people who does this businesses online are called e-tailers. Because they're playing around with the retailer thing, right? And it makes sense. Why? Because we've reviewed this earlier. If you want a website, a basic one, you're paying around 200 ringgit per year. So this makes a lot of sense. 200 ringgit per year is just 30 something ringgit per month. You see? And you won't get that kind of shop anywhere in the world, anywhere at all in the world, right? Maybe cheapest, maybe around what 400, 600 in Malaysia. Maybe I give that as cheapest lah. Maybe if it's a food court or something, it might be cheaper than that, right? But I can't see you having a shop selling all these things with 200 ringgit per year, right? So a lot of people does that e-tailer, and actually over on the World Wide Web and or on the internet, we will have different kinds of businesses. We have business to business, for example, wholesalers selling to retailers, right? Or um, retailers, service providers selling to retailers, or the other way around, and etc. Right? So that is business to business. Right? Then we have business to consumer. This is very commonsensical. For example, AirAsia.com. You just go there, you buy something from a business, or Amazon.com. You just go there and you buy something from a business. Right? We also have C2C. Oh, you know what? For B2B, the example is, for example, Alibaba. You might or might not have heard of that, but you can try and go there. Basically, you have wholesalers selling to other people. Some of these other people will be retailers. Anyway, back to here. Consumer to consumer, for example, Mudah.my or Lelong.my. These websites are where consumers can sell to other consumers. Although some people over Mudah and Lelong are also businesses, it's fine. I guess the perfect example would be eBay.com. It's just that it's not really a Malaysianized company; it's an international company, right? Whereas Mudah, for example, is very much Malaysianized. Mudah.my, right? And Lelong.com.my or Lelong.my. Anyway, this is where we sell using auctions, meaning we actually sell to other consumers. And then we have B2G, business to government, right? A lot of government tenders today are actually handed out over on the World Wide Web and internet, meaning it's an open tender, anyone can bid. So this open tender and the ease of bidding makes it a competitive business or way of doing things, so the government can choose the best services and or best price for whatever products they want, right? So that is business to government. Now again, we talk about why businesses are relevant online. Of course, we talk about how it is very cheap, right? You can also say it's convenient, don't you think? I mean, you don't have to, like, for example, be there at any particular time of the day and etc. Right? It's convenient, right? It is also open 24 hours a day, 7. As long as your server is up, you will have your website up all the time, 24/7, right? And then you open up your shop and your materials and products to a global market. But then, if we have billions of websites, and all of them are built by dedicated people like you and me, right? And all of them are open 24/7 and they're global, and they have different kinds of products from all over the world, then it's very competitive. So how do you stay competitive in the World Wide Web? Of course, by advertisement. Again, this is something convenient. To put an advertisement is fairly easy. You can create a Facebook profile, for example, right? Facebook business or event, right? You can put advertisements on different websites. Now, because of advertisements and marketing to sell products, which is very competitive on the World Wide Web, there exist certain problems which we'll discuss in the next chapter. Problems like spyware and adware and other tools, bad tools that marketers and advertising agencies use in order to get customers to a certain product or a certain World Wide Web websites, right? So we'll talk about that later. But as of now, we'll talk about how businesses can be booming online, right? In which case we'll have what we call the .com boom. Right? So you can refer to your slide. What is the .com boom and when did it happen? Basically, what happens here is that people see a lot of potential in websites. So instead of really focusing on their business per se, meaning, for example, hiring new people, having new infrastructure, buying a cashier machine, have a bigger store, they actually focus much more on their web store, right? They hire new people not for physical selling and buying, they hire new people to have better websites, for example, right? Have more content on their website. So that's called a website boom, .com boom. A lot of companies are focusing on their web business. But after a certain period, what happens that actually we don't have that much consumer or that much customer actually going to the web just to do business, just to buy something, right? So a lot of these .coms crashed, although some are still successful. For example, Amazon.com is really quite successful, right? They're still around, they're still selling, and they're still producing goods and etc. Right? So that is what we call the .com phenomenon, right? So that is the end of week 9's lecture, and see you for week 10.